You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, ladies? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge. Welcome to the church. Welcome to Mocha's Ladies Lounge, where I'm always serving you the word, wisdom, knowledge, spiritual awareness. I appreciate y'all for being so patient. Had to put some content on hold. I have so many things I had to take care of. So, sometimes as content creators, we need to take that break to woosah and just take care of some things. But nevertheless, I'm glad that a lot of you ladies were really giving me a lot of positive feedback with the last content that I did, known as the last sermon that I did was why you can't it should have been can't build friendship with bitter women. And it's very it's unfortunate that we're in times now in which, every man is for himself. And in this case, every one man is for themselves, in which people are willing to do whatever it takes to climb to the ladder, to make it to that place of success. And if they got to step on toes, or they have to do, if they got to go by unethical means to get it done, they will take that chance. They will sabotage whatever friendship or bond of loyalty in order to get to that point of success. So wanted to do a part 2 because I was asked by one of the viewers, I think her name is Lizzie. Let me make sure, because I don't want to acknowledge. Lizzie Calhoun, because I know this is one of those type of topics in which it's so taboo, but it's so many women that still have yet to learn, when you are encountering a friendship with a woman that does not have your best interest. Because the truth is, a lot of times you want so badly to see the good in someone that you will overlook a lot of significant details. And like I said, it's the small disrespect. Why does it have to be something excessive? Why does a woman have to sleep with your man, or, cause you to get put out of your housing, cause you to lose your job, your livelihood? Why do y'all think it has to be something extreme for you to realize that another woman does not have your best interest as her friend? I'm going to keep stressing this. It's that small disrespect. It's the small things. Wanting to kind of get into some of the little things that a lot of y'all are overlooking, and you think it's harmless, but it speaks volumes of what type of female that you're dealing with, And I realize the reason why so many women gravitate towards this type of topic is because y'all for yourselves have experienced having friends like Atisha, having friends like Kimmy, having friends, like a Stormy. We've all encountered these type of women, and that's the reason why so many can relate. Now, other little significant signs that you have to pay attention to when it comes to understanding you are in friendship with a very bitter type of woman. One of the things is when she has a place for you. Okay? And let me explain that a lot more thoroughly, because some of you don't understand. She only has you within her life, within, you know, her situations, in certain situations, because she has a place for you. To make it more simple, a lot of bitter women have positioned their friends in how can I say this? You have a lot of females that have basically assigned you a certain position within her life. For instance, every friend has that one friend who she knows she could always call that friend if she has something business related. For instance, if she knows her friend is like a male who's very ambitious, who has a lot of connections with people within the business realm, is very book smart, is very very driven when it comes to business matters. That particular friend, she has positioned that friend as her business friend. You know, that's not the friend she calls when she wants to party. That's not too much the friend when she wants to go out of town or travel to do things. This is the friend in which she only hooks up with when she has something business related. She will call this friend if she needs somebody to help her get a loan or help her figure out how to start a business. That's the only position. Other than that, she does not confide in this friend when it comes to personal things in her life, because she does not want the business friend to know too much about the imperfect things in her life, because she wants that friend to keep, the business friend, to keep thinking she's so well together that the friend does not mind, doing business with her, assisting her with business. So she makes sure she does not keep the business friend anywhere. She does not allow her anywhere near any personal aspects of her life, because again, she does not want the business friend to think that she does not have it together, when in actuality she does not, which is why she leans towards the business friend to compensate for when she does need some assistance on making it seem as if she has it together, when really it's that business-minded friend who is giving her the necessities she needs to be able to do anything that's business related. She has the party friend, the friend that she hits up, in an event. She wants to go to some type of function, some type of event. In many cases, this may be a friend. This friend may have different positions. A certain type of party friends. You have your party friends that are just as elegant and just as bougie as you. So you may take the bougie party friend with you in the event. It's a certain type of sophisticated, extravagant event, and you don't want to go by yourself, and she's pretty much on your same level. Then you have like the ratchet friend who you may only bring with you in case you just want a wild night out on the town. You want to hit one of those hole in the wall clubs in which you kind of dress like a hoochie mama for the night, or if you're looking for a daquan, to knock those walls out, something like that. You got your little wild girlfriend who you go to the hole in the wall club, the hood club, and she doesn't judge you. You know what I mean? If you meet a Jaquan or Daquan or whatever, if you want to wild out that night, that's the wilding out girlfriend. That's pretty much down for anything. We'll get down and drink, smoke weed, whatever leisure hood girl side you have that you don't want the bougie, your corporate and business friends to see. She's that girl. You get what I'm saying? So basically I say all of that to say she has assigned you to fulfill a certain space in her life. And you might have the other friend in which you're the grieving counselor. She only comes to you basically when she's down and out, stuff going on in her life. You know what I'm saying? Because she knows you're gonna always give her good advice. And you got to realize some of these women will use you for your mind. It's not always your money. It's not always your connections and who you know, what you know. Or who you know, but they will use you for what you know. Okay. Some women just thrive off of the wisdom and knowledge of other women. I know for me that was one of my biggest problems, because I've always been one not to toot my own horn, because I haven't always gotten it right. In times I had to call my fair weather friends, and be like, girl, I'm going through something. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong way. Maybe you can give me some of your spiritual knowledge, and because it's a little foggy right now, it's a little smoky, I can't see clearly. So, but nevertheless, I've always been a friend that females gravitate towards, because they respect my knowledge and my wisdom. And every time they go through certain situations, they probably initially at first had my best interest, but over time I noticed how they would use my brain as a means of comfort, because I've never been one, I'm gonna tell you the truth, but I'm gonna do it with love, you know what I mean? And you got some of them girlfriends that tell you the truth, but they weaponize it. Like, I told you that ninja was no good. Girl, you are so slow. You didn't pick up on that. I've been told you Tyrone was no good. I'm not gonna come at you like that. I'm like, girl, well, listen. In my spirit, I was feeling some type of way about Tyrone, but I had to allow God to deal with you on that. And I prayed for you, hoping that God would bring it to light, for your benefit, So it's not always what people say, but how they say it, you know what I mean? But you have women who will use you for your knowledge, you know what I mean? They want you to mentally help them think through everything, and the bad part about being this type of friend is that sometimes when you're always accommodating these women with your advice and stuff, they get very codependent on that, to the point to where you get tired of constantly being their therapist. They get an attitude. They think that, all of a sudden you too good to have time to talk to me. You too good to give me advice. You've been doing it for the last 20, 30 years, you got to be very careful with that. Sometimes you can be so overly compassionate to the point to where people, women particularly, they become very dependent on that. And the moment you get burnt out, or you realize, all your wisdom and your knowledge is not being utilized, you no longer want to give that advice like you used to, it can really pretty much cause the energy in the friendship to change. So don't start what you can't finish. So you have females, you have women, when it comes to these friendships, they have a place for you, and you might be comfortable with just being in that place. But at the same time, never don't make them become too complacent in placing you there. Because the moment you get tired of being placed there, it becomes a problem. So you have to be very mindful of that. You also have to pay attention to the little things of when they exclude you from certain things. Why is it, when she's going out of town, you're not the friend she calls when she travels, got out of town? But when you go on her Facebook page, you seeing her doing cruises, doing luncheons and all of that with her frat sisters. With her what's the sorority sisters or whatever. And I get it for certain events like that, so sorority thing, but regular female friend functions. Like, she's having a casual dinner with her friends and not inviting you, or she's always booking cruises with certain friends but never inviting you. It seems harmless, but you have to pay attention what you're invited to and what you're excluded from. You know what I mean? I've learned this the hard way, that in many instances when a woman does not want you to learn or meet her other friends, it's for one of two reasons. One, either there's a side of her that she really is that she does not want you to see, that's going to come out in the event that she's with her friends who really know her. I had a particular associate that did something like that. I noticed that she didn't invite me too many places with her friends, with her and her friends. Now, mind you, she's older than me, and I've always hung out with older women because they've always respected my knowledge and my wisdom. So I really hung out with females my age, right? So in my 20s, I was hanging out with females in their late 30s. I'm sorry, in their late 20s, right? So I had a friend associate one time. She I noticed would not want me to hang around her when she's around certain people. Till this one particular night, she didn't think about it. I don't know if she was tipsy. I don't know what happened, but she decided to invite me to an event, to the club with her, and I was surprised that she actually invited me, because I noticed she would never invite me when she was around particular people. And I saw why. She was a totally different person around these certain group of women. She was way more loud, soft-spoken, a little on the ratchet side. I saw the real her. And that was not the side she displayed to me. Some of these females who we call friends, these bitter women, they don't invite you to certain stuff because they know they're going to be around people who know the real them. And if they were to invite you, they have to act a certain way, and they're not going to be able to put up that persona because their real friends are ratchet enough to call them out on it. Oh, girl, what you acting so bougie for now? You know how we do. You better throw back, that thug passion. Why you acting all bougie and just want to drink lemon water? You know how we do, And she don't want you to see that wild side, you know what I'm saying? So you have some females that they don't invite you because it's a certain side they don't want you to see. And to me, that's not real friendship. Because my thing is, if I'm your friend, I should be able to see your good, your bad, your ratchet, your cool, your classy, your elegant, whatever. Why when it comes to me, you only want me to see the certain side of you? To me, I think that's like false representation. You know what I mean? Because you should be able to show the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I mean? But yet, they want you to be transparent and keep it real. I have a problem with that. But nevertheless, you have to pay attention when they don't invite you around, certain people. Another thing, when they don't invite you around your man. Now, keep in mind, some of y'all, it's the reason why your girlfriends will not let you be around a man or their husband, because some of y'all just be doing too much. And you have some women that are so so disrespectful. I had a female one time tell me she had a girlfriend of hers that was so disrespectful. The 1 or 2 times that her husband or male friend was around, she would notice her friend would be like, "Oh, girl, I sure could use me some good DICK right now." I'm like, when you have that type of female friend within the company of your male companion or your husband, that is definitely cracking the door to Satan. As fouling, but that's another story. You got to be careful when women flaunt themselves a certain way around your husband. I'm around my friend's husband or boyfriend, I'm going to behave a certain way. For the most part, I'm going to try to avoid even having to be in the company of her when she's with her man. Now, if I so happen to come to her house and he's there or whatever, then, But for the most part, I'm not going to sit there and talk about, oh, how I wish I could get somebody to clap my cheeks at night. I'm not going to sit there and say stuff like that. But you have women that do. And you have to be mindful, of letting, certain women around your man. And if a lot of women you notice are not allowing you around a man, it's something up with that. So you might have to check yourself. Nobody wants you to meet their fiance, their husband, or their male friend, or her man is exiting the room as soon as you come. She about done told him, listen, this is one of my homegirls, but she one of them types, and I ain't even feeling you with, or her being around each other like that. If he's a real man, he's gonna respect his wife or girlfriend's feelings and be like, all right, I'm out. Just say the word, just give me the signal, and I do what I got to do. You know what I mean? If he's a real man, if you got a Martell, that may be a different story. But anyhow, yeah, you have some women in which you also got to look at it the other way too. If your friend's husband don't like you, or fiance don't like you, if he's kind of cold and aloof every time you come around, but he doesn't appear to be that way with her family or her other friends, 9 times out of 10, she's trashing you to him. Men very rarely get into women drama. So anytime you have a man who acts cold, he acts like he barely wants to speak when you come around. He's, being kind of mean and saying sarcastic things. There's something she said to her man about you to make her feel that way. And you know what the bad part is? You have some of these women, they have the audacity when they come to you about their relationship problems, and you be like, you know what, Greg wrong for that. I don't know why Greg treats you that way. Do you not realize you got some of these women, they want so badly to win their man over, want so badly to earn a man's loyalty that they would throw their friends up under the bus? Well, my friend Kiki, she don't really care for you like that. She already told me that she think you blah 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 blah. I mean, why ask somebody for advice on your man, and then when somebody tells you, you go back and you tell a man, knowing it's gonna make the man feel some type of way. If you are in a friendship with a female that's bitter, she'll do stuff like that because she is so insecure. She wants her man to not like none of the women that come around, not even home goddamn friends. You got some women that are just that conniving. They are just that, you know what I mean, low to the ground. You feel me? So if this man is acting funny, treating you cold and doing all of that, 9 times out of 10 it's her. Especially if you didn't do nothing personally to that man to disrespect him. You didn't disrespect his house. You didn't cuss him out. You didn't do anything foul. He's just aloof for no goddamn reason. Or it's a reason he's like that because she running her mouth. Some of these women, they do not know how to separate their man from their friendships. I'm not going to sit here and tell my husband, and we do gossip now, but I'm not going to sit here and tell him, because when women, we get mad, we throw each other's mans up under the bus. Oh girl, I know Greg ain't tripping this week. Now he need to go sit down somewhere, sis. That's how women do. We vibe, we talk about each other's mans, but it's in a respectful manner. But I'm not gonna sit up there and be on some I'm gonna go back and tell my husband, because I vented to you about what I was going through with them, and you was co-signing with me about how he need to get his stuff together on the strength of your friendship with me. And I'm gonna go back and tell him as soon as we get on bad terms, well, that time when you was tripping out and acting crazy, I had to let Sheila know what you was doing, and Sheila was like, girl, you should have been put that ninja in his place. You know how these men are, certain things you cannot tell them, but nevertheless, you got females who do that. You also got to pay attention to how women treat other women. This should have been number one, right? You got to pay attention to how women treat other women when they get mad at them. I had a girlfriend, ex-friend, okay? I saw how she would handle people who she fell out with. How low she would go. You know what I mean? And I never forgot that. One or two situations she had where she fell out with some friend. One, she caused her to get fired. And the second one, she intentionally invited her to a function just so she can basically gang up on her with her other co-ed pit bull girlfriends, and basically just like have a roasting fest in an intentional, unintentional way, meaning she had already got her backup friends knowing that she was going to invite this girl she didn't like because they had a falling out, and they all had a plan to invite this girl to a function so they could pretty much humiliate her. And I never forgot when she said stuff like that. Pay attention to how women treat other women who they were not on the best of terms with. If she sits up there and she's laughing about how she made a woman lose her job, how she threw a woman up under the bus, let me tell you something. Do not think for a second she ain't going to do that to your ass as soon as y'all fell out. Point in case, I went through a similar situation. Was working with a certain female. We didn't see eye to eye. And I'm going to tell y'all a story a whole nother day. I'm going to really go into the details about it because I really want y'all to learn from that friendship. But I just don't have the energy for that right now. But yeah, matter of fact, I'm going to do that more part 3. I'm going to share my experience with that friendship, right? But I noticed how she would brag about how she enjoyed tormenting or dragging other women when things went left in a friendship. And I never forgot that. And when me and her had a falling out disagreement, she tried to do the same thing to me. Neither did she know. It never left my mind what she told me she did to other women. So I always knew it was a probability that it could happen to me. And when she tried me, she tried the wrong one. Because when she did cause me to lose my job, I made sure she lost her job 2 days later. So you got to be very careful. Sometimes the enemy will prepare you without you even knowing it. But it's important that you read the signs. You got to read the room. I can't stress this more than enough. Learn to read the room. Meaning, pay attention to the vibe, pay attention to the spirit, pay attention to the attitude. You got to pay attention to the little things. Stop looking for the big things, the major disrespect. Nobody should have to steal money out your purse or you know what I mean, set your house on fire for you to see red flags. It's the little things. And just monitor how they handle friendships with past friends. It tells you a whole lot. While they bragging about it like it's a victory lap. Yeah, she thought she had me, and I had to show her. I made her lose her job. I slashed her tires. I smashed her man. Don't if you comfortable being if you cool being in the proximity of a female that brags about how she hurt another woman, I'm letting you know now. Be careful, because boo, soon as you cross her path, soon as you make her mad, listen. She not gonna have that same mercy and grace no more for you, no more than she had for the last friend. Now think about it. She probably was crazy about the last friend, like she crazy about you. So never think for a second that you're so good or you're so smart that she'll never try you. A zebra never changes its stripes, like my mother used to tell me. Other things you got to pay attention to. Pay attention to how she is with her family. Does she have her children kind of snooty, bougie? Does she treat her husband's family like garbage in-laws? I mean, don't get me wrong now. A lot of these people, it may be warranted for them to be treated like that. But it goes to show you how she treats conflict. You get what I'm saying? That, she would rather stoop and get to their level versus being wiser and handling things in more of a womanly manner. This is just a tip of the iceberg of what to expect in the event you find out you and this woman fall out and she does not like you anymore. Look at how she treats the people she does not like. Look how she gossips about them. Look how she drags other people. Same thing. Another thing, if they talk about the people they close to, you damn sure ain't far from it. I've heard women talk about their own sisters. My ex-friend would drag her sister through the mud. Oh, she thinks she's something. She got that Lexus from Bob's dealership. He take anybody with bad credit. She ain't get that Lexus from the Lexus dealership. She got it from Bob's, and she round here acting like shit. If she were out home sister, out home mama, out home cousin, boo. She won't protect her blood. She damn sure ain't gonna protect water. Why you thinking she's so cool with you and telling you everything because she just love you so much? This is just the beginning of what's to come. You feel me? She'll drag her own blood. You ain't no exception to the rule. Another thing is, you have to be careful sharing details that you really do not want to resurface. If you're going to confide in a female, I don't care how close y'all are, I don't care what type of history y'all have, do not, I can't stress this more enough, do not share things with her that you fear if they were to ever come out. It can cost you your marriage, it can cost you your job, it can cost you a strained relationship with someone in your family. Only share what you don't mind coming out later on. Even in the event y'all would have fall out. Even in the event teeth and tongue come out. When you're in a friendship with a bitter woman, she sees the opportunity for you to disappoint her. She sees the opportunity for you to let her down. The moment you let her down, because you got to remember, she's already bitter, so she's already expecting the worst, right? So the moment you don't come through, and it don't have to be nothing major. Like I said, you ain't got to sleep with her man to disappoint her. Just not kissing her behind and doing what she wants you to do. Simple things can make her mad, upset, make her in her feelings, right? So because of that, you have to realize, you have to always be cautious and fully aware that, when a woman is bitter like that, she's always storing and collecting information about you, and she's keeping it locked in her memory Rolodex. And the moment you make her mad, it's all gonna come out. I can never understand why you have grown women, and if y'all share something sacred and secrecy, those rules, those secrets, it's not grounds for exposure just because there was a disagreement or falling out. Now, I will say this: if you started it and you go leaking another woman's, secret, and private issues, you can't get upset when she leak yours. If you gonna start the fire, you got to be prepared to choke on the smoke that come behind it. But if you and this person, y'all know y'all just not each other's cup of tea anymore, y'all don't vibe, you're on the same page, just be on your grown woman ish and just gracefully go your separate ways. I never could understand why grown women want to go air and gossip and tell each other secrets when y'all had a friendship. Whatever was told in that friendship, guess what? It still belongs in that friendship, even when that friendship is no longer valid. Because some of you women out here, y'all don't respect the girl code. Okay, a falling out, a disagreement does not warrant you exposing somebody's personal secrets. If it was told in that friendship, it's still valid in that friendship, even when the friendship is no longer valid. Bottom line. But when you're dealing with a bitter woman, she does not know how to gracefully leave a friendship without making it any more uglier, way more difficult than what it's already been. You have to be aware that there is this thing called karma. It will come back to circulate. You may have a good time exposing this person and watching them, go through the humiliation and the pain of of watching them fold after you've exposed them. But you got to realize there's a God that sits high, and he monitors how you treat his children, even when you feel you deserve to punish them. But at the same time, you're not God, and you got to be careful how you punish people, even when they deserve to be punished. Because like the good word says, roll a boulder on somebody and it'll roll back and crush you. Dig a ditch for somebody and then you dig a ditch for yourself. Too many women were always digging a ditch for ourselves because we let our emotions get in the way, and it causes us to make very detrimental situations and not even realizing you can be powering your own self in the foot, trying to destroy and sabotage somebody else. So you got to be very careful with that. You also have to be mindful if her family acting funny, like I said with the husband or the fiance, whatever. Her mama turning up her nose and you never disrespected Mrs. Carol. Her sister Tisha turning up her nose. They ain't turn up their nose for a reason. Listen, this broad is running her mouth about you. It's a reason they're looking at you some type of way. Why would they look at you some type of way and feel some type of way? And them people don't know you from Adam. You never have fallen out with them. She done said something to judge you. So you got to be very mindful about that. Furthermore, when dealing with bitter women, nothing irks their spirit more than your happiness. Looking at Mel, and Mel has come from a long way, and she still is fighting battles every day. Some that we know of because of the show, and there's many battles that we don't know of. No different than the rest of us. I got battles that y'all know of and battles y'all don't know of, and y'all have y'all battles that I don't know of, and vice versa. Every woman has a blessing in her life, and every woman has a burden in her life. But what it is when it comes to the bitter woman, she allows her burdens to outweigh her blessings. And when you get to that place in which you're so consumed with your burdens and not your blessings, you will start to highlight everybody else's blessings. That's why you have these women like Tisha and Kimmy. They're so busy focusing on their own burdens that everything that male is accomplishing is a threat to them, to the point where they got to team up together, be sister-in-laws together, and try to pick and dig, always finding fault in male. You have to realize most of the time women like that, bitter women for that matter, it's because they have areas in their life in which they're not in which they're not succeeding, and they're suffering. So what better way to overlook your suffering by paying attention to everybody else's success? I repeat that again. When you're when you're indulging so heavily in your own sufferings, you will start to pay too much attention to other people's success. This is what happens. You have these women that see male strength, see male love a marriage that was no longer serving her spiritually, mentally, financially. And here it is. You got Kimmy and Tisha who are trying to step on male toes, but y'all got to realize the deflecting is their way of coping with their suffering. You could have, it's women who up here getting their behind beat every night, by their husbands, but looking down on a woman who made the ultimate choice to leave her abusive marriage and husband and survive it, and not allow that to hinder her of not being able to be successful. Guess what? It's the women that are talking that are still in the toxic, unhealthy, miserable situations, because guess what? They don't have the strength to do what the woman who left her unhealthy marriage did. Let me tell y'all, they were secretly rejoicing when Mel and Martell's marriage did not work out, but this is the thing. They're seeing Melody still strive, and they hate that, because here it is. Y'all both have y'all husbands, but y'all really can't. Y'all really not happy. We've seen how aloof Maurice and Marceau is, and both of them are brothers, so birds of a feather flock together. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. It's in their bloodline as men to just treat women as maids, in a sense, as slaves to them. Maurice still expected Kimmy to sexually appease him, not having no compassion for her medical situation. We've seen Marceau over and over belittle Tisha, treat her like a child, not allow her to have a voice. He wants her to stay home and keep the kids, not work. That way he can have the room to do whatever the hell he wants to do and have as many smash sessions as he wants without Tisha having to keep up, because Tisha's home monitoring the children. Let me tell y'all something. They seeing Mel have so much more control over her life than they do over theirs, and it frustrates them. The problem with women is that our success, unfortunately, we're always measuring our sufferings to other people's success. Because our husband, it's kind of like this. Let me break this down more clearly. When you are so overly involved with somebody else's success, your failures they stand out even more. For instance, if you're by them so heavily consuming themselves in Mel's life and her success, it's making their failures stand out to them as a sore thumb. For instance, Melody has all of these businesses with 7th Avenue and all these different projects. It's eating Tisha up like cancer, because she's trying to do what she sees Melody does. She done try to put out t-shirts. She done try to put out hair products, do all kind of things and everything. Why? Because She does not have her own means of happiness, because why? Her husband won't allow it. So her way of trying to find happiness is by mimicking what male does. The truth is, all of us have different gifts in different areas. Just because this one woman over here is great at selling t-shirts, that don't mean I'm going to be great at t-shirts. Maybe I'm more gifted in doing customized cups, or running my own child care. I'm better with kids. Maybe I need to be keeping children. We all have a different gift. That's what a lot of women don't understand. You have a lot of women who try to be like other women, and you wonder why you're miserable, because another woman's gift does not mean that's your gift. Just because my girlfriend is great at printing out t-shirts, I can't automatically just jump on board and print out t-shirts if it's not in my gift, if that's not really my passion. I'm only doing it because she's making the money and I want to make the money too. That is what has Tisha, Kimmy, looking at Mel with the side eye. And not only that, you got to realize a lot of these bitter women got mothers that have instilled it in them to be bitter. You look at Tisha's mother, Miss Wanda, Miss Rhinoceros is what I would like to call her. You got her mother, Miss Rhinoceros. You have Stormy's mama coming from Mel. You got to realize older bitter women are no exception to the rule than younger bitter women. Older bitter women, to me, are worse because what it is, they know life has passed them by. And older bitter women, they are worse because they want so badly to go back and do things in their youth. And what it is, they are jealous and admiring the youth of younger women, like Stormy's mom, Teacher's mom. They look at Mel as a threat to their daughter's success, because their daughters aren't doing well. If their daughters was doing just as great, if not better, they would not care. You have a lot of these older women. Anytime you have an older woman that's constantly gunning for you, I dealt with that on my last job. It's something in you they see, and a lot of it has to do with your youth. A lot of times your youth. You're in your 30s, and you got a 50, 60-year-old woman just hating you for no reason, and you did absolutely nothing to her. It is your youth. You have a lot of these older women that are angry because they cannot go back and change the hand of times. Maybe during their 20s and 30s, they wasn't doing businesses and building empires like Mel. They was too busy depending on Mr. Charlie, and Mr. Charlie was, burning that midnight oil. You get what I'm saying? So they're angry because they gave too much of you to a no good man who they're not with, or stuck in a miserable marriage, or just the fact that they did not make the decisions in their 20s and 30s that they see other young women are making. You have some older women that are very, bitter and have all of this resentment, and you may work around some of these older women. These older women are 60 and 70, if they ain't already married, their own children don't deal with them, you know what I mean? It's a reason for that, so a lot of times you got daughters who adopt their mother's bitterness. So Tisha will always be bitter. Look at who her mother is. Wanda should be, Miss Rhinoceros should be in somebody's church on the usher board. She should be passing out fans. And one of them little country churches, where the air conditioner don't work, and as soon as you come into church, the usher got to pass you a fan. That's what she should be doing. No, instead she's around here being messy because she's not really content in her life. She doesn't have her husband. She's not in a peaceful journey in her life. I'm not trying to be funny. When you 50 and up, you should be at a space in your life in which you've been there, done that. You should have done had enough of the gossip, the he say, she say, getting into it with drama. Leave that for the younger females that are in their 20s and 40s, still trying to figure out and still trying to learn life. Once you over 50, you getting that AARP cards. You're allowed to get senior citizens discounts, half off at Denny's and IHOP. It is time to let go and let God. Leave the foolishness to the young women who have to grow up and mature and go through life like you had to do. You get what I'm saying? But yes, you have a lot of these bitter women on so many spectrums, and do not think that don't think that this is something only black women go through. Listen, it is jealousy from all different women, from different walks of life, different ethnicities, different races. This is not just, I'm tired of the word bitter being only associated with black women. Bitterness is associated with women who lack low self-esteem, who have no purpose, who have no goals, who have their gifts being hindered down by other people who don't have their best interests, like they no good husbands or they bitter toxic mamas who done pass down their bitter toxic traits. And if they're not mindful, they'll pass it down to their daughters. And that bitter seed will keep reproducing and keep growing from generation to generation, to where now they great granddaughters and their granddaughters got nasty attitudes, can't keep friendships. You got some women that are just not good at friendships. They sabotage every friendship they get. You got some women that know how to get friends, but they can't keep them. You got some women that are like men. They have a charming personality. They're very alluring. They know how to lure women into liking them because they know how to crack jokes. They know how to cook. They know how to, they got that charisma. Till you get to know them and you be around them. You're like, oh my gosh, this chick, her spirit is just rubbing me wrong. Another thing, I don't like women who try too hard to get friendship. I don't like them kind too. You're trying too hard, trying to be to every event and you don't turn down nothing. Somewhere, you know what I mean? You don't have motives. You should not be so thirsty to always be readily available. I have an issue with that. I don't like forced vibes. I don't like forced friendship. Either we click or we don't. You know what I mean? I don't like when you build a bond with somebody and they bringing in other people within the bond, like a third or fourth party. It causes confusions. And just because your friend, vibes with this lady over here, just because your friend Kim vibes with Katrina, Kim wants to bring Katrina, you and Katrina may not vibe like that. You get what I'm saying? Everybody got to stay in their lane and be comfortable in their lane. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about that. But in conclusion, you have to be very mindful. You got to pay attention to the vibe, pay attention to your intuition. Don't be so focused on their jokes, so focused on how nice they are, how attentive they seem to be. You got to pay attention to the vibe and the energy that person is bringing you. Energy don't lie. So make sure you heed to that and be very attentive to that. But nevertheless, y'all, I just want to bring y'all this part two. Like I said, I know it's been a little dead space, but I'm working on some things. I'm not going to cover the Mercedes more, because I realized I already did an unhinged on that. Did not know it. So what I will do is I will post the link for those who did not know. I already had to unhinge Mercedes Moore. I already did that. So I'm going to have to do a different unhinged episode of someone else, because I don't want to cover the same thing twice, because the points I'm making is pretty much going to be the same as before, because nothing has changed in that story as far as I know. So I will put the link back down there for those of you who are interested. I'm going to be uploading the content about not being deceived by the demonic charms of manipulative men, so I'm going to do that. Also, if I shut it down, make sure y'all hit that like button. If you haven't already become a member today, it's only $3 a month to tie to the congregation. If you are not in the position to become a member, I totally understand. Just hit the like button, and you're welcome to donate $2. A dollar doesn't not matter to my Cash App. And those who cannot donate, just stop by, show love, and subscribe. Bring those numbers up. So any way you can support, I am more than grateful. So y'all, it's been wonderful. It's been blessed. Y'all take care. And until the next time, it's your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Ladies Lounge. And I will be talking with y'all soon. Be blessed.